Hi, I'm Austin.
And I'm Andy.
And we're here today to talk about the Atlanta Sci-Fi Film Festival. We're a couple of guys who love movies. We do a podcast called If It Were Us. But today we're going to be reviewing not all of the films, but a number of films coming up in the Atlanta Sci-Fi Film Festival, which is October 4th through the 6th. That's located at NCG Cinemas in Peachtree Corners. Andy, why don't you give us the list of films we're covering today?
Sure thing. So we'll be covering The Fore-man, As Easy as Closing Your Eyes, Buddy Love, Score Pending, Decommissioned, Recall, and We Are Not Alone.
All right, thank you. So, just as a quick note before we get started, these are only a portion of the total films that'll be airing at the festival, so even if the films that we cover are not things that are of interest to you, please come and check it out anyway, because there may be others that are more appealing.
There were some films we did not get to ahead of this, and they looked real cool, so I'm excited to see what's going to be there.
Yeah, we'll probably both be there as well.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and jump into the first film.
All right. So The Fore-man. This was the first one I watched, which I guess that's the order we're doing them in. I really enjoyed this one. It's a nice little 14-minute picture. I don't want to spoil anything, obviously, but definitely gives like cryptid vibes. I don't know if you got some of the same feelings there.
Yeah, it was very mysterious.
The atmosphere.
Sort of a mystery at the heart of the piece here.
Yeah, I did really like the. They kind of put like I don't know if it was a filter or not, but there was like a good film grain. Like you got a lot of popping in there, which kind of helped with the vibe.
Yeah, it looked great. It looked
really cool.
They really made the most of what they had. In this film.
The effect wise was really, really impressed.
Yeah, likewise. It's kind of a mixed bag when you watch film festival films, because typically they're made with a fairly small budget, and often they're either kind of pilots, hoping to be expanded, or, just little standalone things. But honestly, if they made this into a show, I would watch it. Yeah, I got big vibes that this one could turn into a show, because even in that little blip, you get like a glimpse that there's so much more to it. So if you're a Quiet Place fan, probably really enjoy this. But just good sci-fi vibes in general. Yeah, and I want to call out on this one that I really loved the design work that went into this film. Oh, yeah. Whoever did the designs and execution, I suppose, as well. Right. A+. Really, really fun to watch. Agreed. All right, we got As Easy as Closing Your Eyes. Now, tell me what you thought. Well, this one was, let me say that it was a very emotional film that dealt with some really hard subjects. Yeah. This was not a film that I could just kind of walk away from and not think about afterwards. No, yeah, that one definitely kind of leaves you thinking. It's got some of the Black Mirror vibes. Yeah. In there as well, some of those kind of elements, but they definitely do a good job in making you think about it, and kind of sticks with you afterwards. Yeah, Black Mirror has just been such a foundational landmark in filmmaking. Because this isn't the first year that we've watched and attended the film festival, and there's a lot of short films out there that are really kind of using that Black Mirror, not just aesthetic, where there's a certain way that the episodes in Black Mirror tend to be blocked and lit, and all of the kind of aesthetic portion of it, but there's also kind of a very distinct feeling to the
tone,
the episodes. The tone, exactly.
The tone is very, very much a thing, and it's interesting to see how much that influence is weaved into a lot of these filmmakers' projects.
Absolutely, and there's a long history of sci-fi being very visionary or perhaps cautionary. And this is very much a film that kind of follows in that tradition, dealing with some things that, might come up in the future, and kind of providing a thoughtful look into, how that might be or what it might look like. And another thing I want to call out for this one is the acting. The acting in this short was really excellent. I was very impressed.
Yeah, no, agreed. So definitely worth checking out. Big recommend if you can catch it on the big screen at the festival.
Yeah, if you're a fan of Black Mirror, if you like that show, this is definitely a short for you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, so Buddy Love.
Yeah, what'd you think about Buddy Love?
It had like really good silly vibes. Kind of like the man who invented the internet from last year, if anybody remembers that. I don't want to spoil anything, but it has like a really good silly vibe. It's got a robot wingman, so it was a fun watch.
Yeah, what I liked about Buddy Love is that it was a really heartfelt film. There was a lot of heart in it.
Oh yeah,
in a way that many like festival films often don't.
Right.
Especially at this particular film festival for sci-fi, a lot of them are very, like I said, sort of visionary. Earlier, where they're looking into the future and they're kind of focusing on, the technology or what have you. And this one, it did a really good job of making the technology at the same time as being a vital part of the short. It also kind of took a back seat to the personal journey of the main character, which I really liked seeing.
Yeah, no, agreed. All right, moving along here, we got Score Pending.
Yeah, that was a pretty strong messaged film right there.
Very much. Also that Black Mirror tone in there.
Yes.
It was another one that kind of ended and kind of left you thinking about how that progresses and maybe the side effects of everything that goes on there. So another great watch. I thought the acting was good, whole tone setting, everything very well done.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. As is kind of often the case in these sort of Black Mirror films or episodes, as the case may be. They certainly have a level of cautionary tale, and that is very prevalent in this particular film. It's a very pointed social commentary, and I think it did a really good job at making the point that it wanted to make. And I think it's political in nature, but in a way that kind of transcends America's two-party system.
Right.
I didn't feel necessarily that it was specifically from one, party looking at the other. It was more, kind of a general cautionary note for humanity, given, our currently evolving technology.
Yeah, no, agreed. All right, so moving right along, Decommissioned. Yeah. I had a feeling you'd really enjoy this one.
I'll be honest, it was one of my favorites.
Yeah, I thought so.
It just, your favorite. Out of all of the films that we watched last year and also this year, this one had the most charm, I think.
It was so charming. I'm excited to watch it again on the big screen and with an audience as well. I think will be really fun. Just robots stay off is all I'll say. But the animation work, the kind of stop motion-y style they used, really, really cool picture.
Yeah, so, like a stop motion animation film. And man, they did such a good job with it.
Yeah.
It's clear that, the backgrounds and the characters and everything all have this kind of very purposeful bad art aesthetic where, effectively the backdrops and everything are just kind of made of like whatever, like trash or, old computer parts or what have you. But they really put it together in an aesthetically cohesive way, such that the vision of the artist really comes through very strongly. And it pulls from some of like the old, almost like Looney Tunes style of comedy, all the way to some fairly serious themes. So overall, it was just an absolute delight to watch. And if you enjoy stop motion animation and kind of very pointed aesthetic films, then this is definitely one that you don't want to miss.
Agreed. All right, Recall, which this one actually might have been my favorite one. I really enjoyed this one.
Which one was that? I can't recall.
I'm just going to say AI Children.
I was just making it. I'm sorry.
All right. But AI Children.
Yes. This was, another kind of Black Mirror inspired
very much
film.
So. Yeah.
And this film was very smart in a lot of ways that I think some of the other entries weren't quite as focused in that regard. It was very well made. It was very clear what they were looking for and going for, and the acting was excellent, and honestly, at the end, it just left me wanting more.
Exactly. This is one where I was like, I want either a limited series or something.
I feel like this one is the best suited among all of the entries that at least we've gone through, for being a feature film.
Yeah, absolutely. I could totally see that.
So, strongly recommend that one. It's very emotional, very well made, strong production values, and a great story.
Yeah, definitely check it out if you get the chance. All right, the last film we're covering, We Are Not Alone. I feel like this could be turned into an A24 film. And that is like a very positive point I'm making on that. I really enjoyed a lot of the visuals they did on this one. But how did you feel?
I'll be honest, I was kind of staggered by how good this film was.
Yeah, this one was really, really good. Acting as well.
I said that Decommissioned was one of my favorites.
Right.
But We Are Not Alone was probably my single favorite film of the ones that
this one and Recall being the last two I watched, I was sitting there like, whoa, those were both really well done.
Yeah, what I really liked about We Are Not Alone is how fresh it was.
Yeah.
While a lot of these other films, I could harken back and say, they remind me of,
Black Mirror or...
Yeah, like a Black Mirror episode or, what have you. This one was just so interesting and such a new, unique take on sci-fi, and I don't want to give it away.
I don't want to give anything away, but also like the emotions that they convey with the story that they're telling. It's really, really good. So like at the top of the list if you're making a decision on what to see.
Yeah, there's so much more I would love to say about this film. But I can't because it's all spoiler territory.
Yeah,
so what you need to do is come to the film festival and watch this film, and then we can talk about it.
yeah, no, absolutely. It's like can't really say much of anything, but just go watch it.
Also, watching that film with the strong speakers in a theater would, I'm sure, be excellent because the sound design was A+.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Well, that is all the films that we got to watch in advance of the film festival. So I hope that any of those piqued your interest. We certainly enjoyed them. If you're interested in any of the films we covered, or perhaps some of the ones that we didn't cover, then please do come by and check out the Atlanta Sci-Fi Film Festival. Again, that's happening on October 4th through the 6th, and that's at NCG Cinemas in Peachtree Corners.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Hope to see everybody there.